Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of the Gamma Ray Podcast. I'm Tim with Justin.
How's it going, everybody?
And also Tim again.
What's going on?
All right, guys, and this week we are talking about some shit, man. So we're talking about the flat Earth this week, and fucking buckle in.
Yeah.
The amount of times you have to just ignore science to get to this point where you just like,
Bro, you would literally have to ignore 2,000 years or more of science.
Okay.
is that
Okay. Okay, fuck it, I guess.
Not that you can see this because it's more an audio medium, but behind me, I have a nice, beautiful picture of the real flat Earth. So fuck all of you.
it?
Yeah. And between that and your shirt, then it's got to be true.
I swear to God, dude, by the time we're done with this, Tim's gonna have 1,000 shirts. I didn't even notice that till you brought it up. Really?
You didn't know the giant flat earther
No.
letters like staring you right in the face?
No, I didn't.
One for every occasion. For every insane conspiracy theory.
Yeah. What? I'm gonna have to do some shopping for next week. I think I'm running out. I'm running out. It's like 30% of my budget.
It's just
T-shirts,
Relating to the
t-shirts.
podcast topics that nobody watches on YouTube. All right, guys. Like I said, all right. So this week we're talking about the flat Earth. It is a conspiracy if there ever fucking was one. This is
Yeah,
probably
for sure.
top of the list for conspiracy. Now, this quote unquote theory, I mean, it goes all the way back to the beginning of recorded nonsense. It's an old story, man. It's an old thought. You can at least kind of relate to it being like super fucking old. You know what I mean? Because people were stupid.
Well, yeah.
Let's just call it what it is. They were
That
dumb.
was the stupid ages.
You know, but still, shit's round. You look up at the sky, it doesn't look flat, it looks round. But that's because your eyes are round. So basically the flat Earth theory is touting essentially that the Earth is a flat plane instead of a rounded globe, which we all, have come to believe that it's a round thing.
Sure.
That's right. So part two of the theory is that, and this is probably my favorite part of it, is that Antarctica is a ice wall that surrounds the outer edge of the flat Earth. There you go.
Yeah. Oh, you gotta remember to put in there that it's also NASA has guards throughout the entirety of the wall.
Yeah.
Shoot and kill anybody who gets anywhere close to it.
Yeah. No, I get it.
That's where
No, I get
all the American budget goes.
It's protecting the ice wall.
Yeah.
What's going to happen if global warming's real?
Then I guess
Well-
it becomes an ice fence.
No,
I
we
think
just
the
run out of
oceans
water.
just drain out into the void,
Into just into the
into
emptiness.
fucking outer space. If there even is such a thing.
Well, yeah, I mean,
These guys, I love these guys, man. They hit me right in the heart. You know what I mean? These guys. So so Antarctica's an ice wall, right? It's not like a continent. It's not like traditional North America, South America kind of continent. You know what I mean? It's literally a perimeter around the Earth. And the idea comes from, if you can believe it, a scholar named Epicurus. Nailed it. Who theorized that the Earth was surrounded by walls that kept the oceans in place, you know what I mean, from spilling over,
okay.
and kept us safe from essentially the void, the vacuum of space. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So-
you got to remember, this is ancient Greek philosopher we're talking about right here.
And it's
Okay.
a
I
big
mean,
stretch,
like-
man. You know,
Okay.
because I was wondering where
It's like
how the water was going to be held in, and that it just wasn't, going over the edge of the earth and just into infinity, and we have just infinite amount of water going over the edge.
Like, it's just so stupid. Like,
If you ever
it's
see
just
one of
so
those
stupid.
you ever see one of those like infinity waterfalls?
Yes.
The water flows, but then there's a tube that comes back and it just does that.
Yeah, it just kind of feeds on itself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, I mean, you can look through a telescope and see like Mars, or how about the fucking moon?
Yeah.
It's
Well, I mean,
round.
dude, you also got to think this is back in the time when, they were praying for the sun to come back every day.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It was
Dude.
like,
I know what you're doing, and I don't appreciate it. But the thing is, is that they still got eyeballs, dude. You look up. They could still look up back then, right? They had
well, yeah,
necks.
absolutely.
They could look back, look up, and look at the goddamn moon.
Yes. The moon's round. Yeah. I mean,
What the hell? It just
unless it's just a
compute,
flat
man.
disc standing straight
Yeah,
up,
but
like Justin's lie behind him.
Yeah. Look at you.
yeah, fuck it. I'm just lying my ass off right now,
You
man.
fucking fraud.
But I mean, I don't know. It was the stupid ages, man.
Yeah, I mean, some of this stuff though is like when you if you like watch the videos them of people explaining it, like it almost kind of makes sense. If you like unblur your eyes, you know what I mean? And
You
kinda,
squint
like,
real
stare at
hard.
it, you know what I mean? You're like, oh, okay,
Some
all right.
I can see how they would think this.
selective hearing, whatnot. Yeah, I can get it.
So like the folks that currently believe in the flat Earth theory, I mean, they also believe that space isn't real. Essentially, it's like, I don't know, man, like a fucking sheet up there with holes poked in it. You know what I mean?
I mean, this is where we go back now to like, what you just previously said, man. Just look up, bro.
Dude,
Just fucking look up.
I mean, not only is space not real, but humans have definitely never gone to the goddamn moon, and they've never been to space.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
just fucking
This
ridiculous.
one theory has a couple conspiracy theories mixed in with it.
Yeah, like wrapped into one, essentially.
Yeah.
But
Well, a
like,
lot of it's based off of distrust in the government.
it's
they don't
the
believe that-
mistrust of your own common sense. Like
Yeah.
it's just that's what it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to understand too, like, back in them days, man, they saw the night sky that we don't see because of the light pollution. Like these guys were seeing like Milky Way galaxies, I mean, like they would see all that shit. I mean, just imagine what they were seeing. And to believe that there's no space is just fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of people that when you believe in flat Earth, you got your toes in a lot of different fucking buckets, dude, of conspiracy thought. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you'd have to be.
Right. I mean, another part of the belief of flat Earth is that, and why we don't know about it, is essentially every government on Earth is working together to keep it from us, which is your traditional conspiracy theory thought, right? I mean, almost every conspiracy theory that I can think of
It's
has
it's
that
involved.
component.
Yeah, it goes back to
Yeah,
the
it's
one world
involved
government.
every single government who like each other and hate each other have all agreed.
Yeah.
This is something we need to.
Yeah, and it's one thing. This
Yeah.
is something we all agree on. Let's go ahead and keep this secret from the rest of the world.
Right. We'll
Just
commit
because.
mass genocide, but I'm not going to tell you that the Earth's flat.
Yeah, fucking.
What?
It doesn't make any sense, man. I mean, like of all things to keep quiet, why would you?
Yeah. So like,
That's because our alien overlords have demanded it. All right.
that's not possible.
If we knew the Earth was flat, we would try to break out of our zoo.
That's not possible because space isn't real. So they can't have
Right.
aliens.
So there's no aliens.
They came from the
They
Earth.
come from the fifth dimension. Clearly, you ain't been doing your research.
Mm.
All right.
I've been
In the
skimming.
fifth dimension, space exists. Okay. That's the only dimension.
You know, it's funny. It's like everything I've said so far, I've kind of just made up. But it sounds good because that's the beauty of conspiracy theory.
It is.
You can just say some shit.
Yeah, just say some random ass
No,
shit.
no. It's all been real. It's all fact. And so, like, an example of like some folks that are like trying to leave clues essentially to let us know. Like an example that would be the symbol for the UN, where it's like all the continents are flat and it's got the ocean behind it and there's like a big circle around it, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, they're trying to tell us
Yeah.
that
Yeah, it
that's the
couldn't be
real
that-
version. That's the real version of what a
The
map of the globe
symbology
looks
of
like.
it is they wanted to get every country on a flag. No, this is what the actual Earth looks like.
Yes.
And these are our earlier descendants or whatever, leaving small little tidbits.
But
That's a
see,
big
even
one.
like the UN is a fairly new organization.
Yeah,
So it's not like
compared to
ancient people are trying to tell us
60s or something. I mean, you ain't been
Sounds
around
good.
that long.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, a lot of shit happened in the 60s. It's a good decade to put shit we don't know about in. Yeah, the 60s. Yeah, that works. So like the roots though of the flat earth theory, like most things in modern culture especially, have their origins in ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia, right? I mean, that's the cradle of civilization. That's where shit started.
Yeah.
And what they believe though, it's not exactly the same, but it's pretty close. That the earth was flat and it was a disc that floated in like a large ocean, essentially. And I think what they mean by ocean is space. You know what I mean? We're floating in space. And because like if you look up, it looks like I mean, I guess I can see it looking like an ocean.
Yeah, that's the problem with the ancient cultures, dude, is that a lot of their stuff was symbolic.
Yeah.
Right.
So
And
the
you
ocean could
really
have,
just
well, the problem is it could have either meant the space with the stars and, that's where their gods live and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Or they could have literally meant they thought it was
floating in water.
floating in water.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean, that's the thing with the ancient,
Take 'em-
with the ancient stuff, man. It's a lot of it's kind of guesswork of what you think they meant.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really all it is. It's all guesswork anyway.
Yeah.
So, so I guess you kind of take it however you want to interpret it. If you want to interpret it as, you're floating on a giant ocean or in space. I mean,
On the
space
back of
thing
a
would make
turtle.
me- yeah, or the back of a turtle.
Like a space turtle.
Yeah.
That's my new belief system right there, the space turtle.
Space turtle.
It seems so much. It just seems like so much cooler, don't it?
Well, I guess it had to be a space tortoise because there's no water in space.
Okay. And it's got to be one of the big ones because they move so slow.
We're on a flat Earth episode. You got to be accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Facts matter, man. Come on. But the idea that the earth was actually flat, it persisted for hundreds, if not thousands of years. Pretty much all of antiquity, they believed this.
Right.
Yeah.
And in 330 BC, Plato, I don't know if you've heard of the man. Little known. Yeah, little known.
Yeah, he's a little known
Pops up every now and
philosopher.
again. Yeah.
Well, I
He
see. Like
began-
immediately, I don't like him because I feel like he's got something to hide. They're it's Plato, right? Plato.
Yeah.
Think about the first part of his name. Plate. What's a plate? A flat fucking disc.
Oh, okay.
Dude, I
so
can
he had a
already
personal
see-
agenda.
I can already see the board with the red yarn.
Yeah.
Foreman.
Like, oh, I'm
in
piecing it
Tim's
together.
apartment right now.
I'm piecing it together.
The plate, but don't forget about the O. What's the O? It's a circle. Yeah,
That's right.
his whole
Yes.
name is built around
The
this.
plate-
I'm
oh,
a less capable Sherlock Holmes. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, he began to theorize that the Earth was actually a sphere,
okay.
but his pupil Aristotle, he attempted to end the debate with about flat Earth or round Earth
Mm-hmm.
by stating that if he were to go to Egypt, he would see a different set of constellations in the sky.
Right. If it was flat.
Yeah.
Because
Than he
the
would have
stars
seen
aren't,
in Greece.
stars aren't moving. You are
Yeah.
right in that point.
mhm.
Okay.
Well, I mean, even with that, what was it? It was like if it was 10,000 years ago, there'd be different constellations in the sky above where we are in America
Yeah.
because we would have been in a different part of the galaxy.
Yep.
Sure.
No, yeah, you're right.
Just throwing
I
it
don't
out
know.
there,
I
it was
think
like-
yes. I'm with you. Yes. Okay.
Oh no, that's actually true. It's like
So, I mean, it would make sense.
the constellations, what we see right now, will eventually not be there anymore
Right.
because we'll have moved so far through the galaxy that those stars are now,
Well, it's
hundreds
like
of light
the
years away.
it's like the zodiac stuff. What are we in right now? The age of Capricorn or something, and then we'll move into
I
the
don't
age of
know.
Aquarius, which is a different constellation configuration.
That's just a terrible song, is what it is.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think the 60s was the age of Aquarius.
No, we're not in it yet.
Oh, we're not in it yet.
No.
Okay,
That's
okay.
the age
That's
of
why I'm relating the
Aquarius.
song Age of Aquarius. I just
No, the age of
automatically
Aquarius
correlated
is
them.
where like
Good.
some people think that's when Jesus will come back to Earth. Some people think that's when the hyper intelligent aliens will show up
Yeah,
to teach
Well-
us all the ways of the universe.
we'll raise like a different spiritual vibration that'll like
it's a whole
attract
thing.
visitors and that shit. We'll be ready to be civilized at that point.
Yeah, once we
Anyways.
ain't psychotic monkeys.
Yeah.
Well, we'll all be long dead before it happens, so
Yeah.
we'll kill ourselves off. Anyways, but going back to Aristotle, yeah, he gave evidence that the Earth casts a round shape on the moon during the eclipse, which, according if you're going off of flat Earth, they also think this damn sun's directly up.
Where does it go?
That's a very good question. I don't think they ever got an answer for that. It'll or
Oh,
either
I'm
that
sure
or,
there's
like,
an
goes
answer.
underneath fucking plate and comes back around.
I'm sure there's an answer. It's just not going to make any fucking sense. That's all. I'm
Yeah.
sure there's an answer for that.
But actually, surprisingly enough, the Christian church completely backed up Aristotle's ideas, which
That
is
I
they
find-
are not known
That I do find surprising.
Yeah.
for backing forward thinkers, dude.
Right.
Especially in this time.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they definitely weren't forward thinkers.
Especially because this actually contradicts the Bible, where like in the Bible there's a belief that the earth is actually flat, because there's
See
biblical
that.
scholars, they debate, the support
Yeah.
Aristotle, because essentially in Isaiah 11:12 the Bible mentions the four corners of the earth.
Yeah.
So that,
okay.
so that makes it real.
Well,
Yeah,
people
so
also
to
live
them,
like
there wouldn't be-
700 years. So
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, they say Noah lived to be like 935 years or something.
he was
Well-
spry.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
Well,
Oh,
the,
yeah.
well, the scholars, they put it out that that passage is irrefutable proof that the earth is actually flat.
Hmm.
Because it says the four corners. Now, I don't know. In a
Irrefutable.
sphere, there's an infinite amount of corners.
Yeah. I mean, it's irrefutable because the
Yeah.
Bible says so.
well, that was our episode. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Yep. The Bible says so. So that's it.
See
You
y'all
know.
later.
No more research
Well-
needed.
The earth being round was actually starting to build up some steam back then. A lot of people started coming back into the not coming back, but they were starting to come into the idea that it was actually a sphere.
Right.
That was up until the Dark Ages.
You don't say.
Man's
Yeah.
favorite part of history.
Yeah, we went back a lot
Yeah.
during this
Man,
time.
dude, we lost 500 to 1,000 years of advancement thanks to the Dark Ages.
Which interesting fact, there's some people who actually think that we're in I think it was like we're actually in the year like 1765,
Holy shit.
Dude, I've heard something
not
like that. and that-
2022.
yeah, and
because
that this is all
there-
simulation.
No, not that it's a
Right.
simulation. There's actually a theory out there that because of the Dark Ages, we actually lost track of what fucking year it was.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we might actually be a lot further back in time than we think we are.
It's kind of like the Matrix. They thought it was 2000 or whatever, and it was actually 22 something.
Yeah.
I don't remember the time frame for Matrix.
And then that throws off the whole fucking history line, don't it? History books.
Yeah, because there's no one kept good records back then. So, anyways, that's a side thing. But during the Dark Ages, though, most of the scientific discoveries before it were abandoned, and people fell back on traditional Bible beliefs.
It's because
Well,
people
yeah.
were fucking freaked out.
Yeah,
Think about the shit that went down around those times, man.
I mean, yeah, man, but you gotta understand too, it was either that or
plague.
be fucking burned at the stake.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like the plague and shit like that. Like they didn't know about germs and viruses and shit like that and transmission
Yeah.
and all that. So to them, it's like a supernatural fucking force killing everybody. So what's a good combatant to that kind of shit? The
That
Bible.
it was that it was a plague sent from God because
Mhm.
people are sinners.
Well, yeah, it doesn't help either that the church was constantly executing the smartest people in the room.
No, yeah, that didn't help.
You know, that didn't help.
I don't know,
either.
man. Have you ever really met like a super smart guy?
Yeah.
They're usually fucking dicks,
Well-
so I kind of get it.
they were just killing him because they're like, you know what? I don't like your attitude.
You're
Fuck
really,
you,
yeah,
I can tell you this,
bug
bro.
bastard.
I had a physics class
fucking nerd.
and my physics professor he worked at a nuclear power plant and he taught at night part-time. I will tell you this dude was so fucking smart that during our breaks, it was really hard to, like, we tried to have conversations and his intelligence was on such a higher level that was really hard to, to have a conversation like a normal conversation.
Yeah.
Because everything with him always came back to, well, have you learned this yet? Or have you learned, you know what I mean? Instead
like,
of just having kind
yeah.
but
But
he
it's
did
like,
come off
okay, man.
kind of condescending.
Yeah.
But I think
Okay,
it was
man.
just
Well,
because
Einstein also said too that if you can't explain something, dumb it down to where everybody can understand it, then you don't truly understand it.
yeah.
So if you're like, oh hey, can you this yet? Or you like, no. I don't,
But
it's
what
not
I'm saying
true
is, like-
intelligence, you're book smart.
Like I completely dug the dude. He was like a cool bro. He was like a cool dude, but most of the class hated him, and I kind of get why. You know what I mean? Because he
Yeah.
kind of but it was unintentional condescending.
I've never even met the guy and I already hate him.
Yeah, I hate him too. Fuck him.
but it was unintentional condescending, like the
Yeah.
manner. Like it wasn't intentional. Like he was just on such a higher intelligence level.
Burn him.
Yeah, burn him at
Burn the
stake.
witch.
You know what I mean? He's a witch. At least that's how they thought.
Well, anyways, like a lot of modern day scholars consider the Dark Ages a scholarly amnesia.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Is it-
100%.
and it was, definitely an interruption in the progress of science.
Interruption,
we-
bro. It came to like a screeching halt.
Yeah,
Wow.
we regressed pretty hard.
Hmm.
A lot of cool things came out of it, though. Yeah,
Yeah. The guillotine.
crossbows.
The Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden.
Yeah,
The rack.
Yep, the rack. Thumb
that's
screw.
that's
Yeah,
my
you got thumb
personal favorite.
screws.
Yeah.
My personal favorite is the rack.
Locking maidens in a tower.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of shit came out of there.
Good stuff.
All
man.
sounds good to
stuff.
me.
Yeah.
Well, hey, isn't that when like King Arthur and shit was around?
Yeah.
See,
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
supposedly.
So I mean, you got King Arthur out of it, I guess.
Hmm.
Well, too, and what it is especially now, the problem is that science is always finding itself wrong, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it's the idea.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, that's
like
the whole point of science.
so like, yeah, like one theory that they thought was 100%, then
Yeah.
somebody comes up and says, hey, no, that's actually wrong. Here's what it really is.
Yeah,
And it never gets less complicated.
it's
The
there's
answer
there's
to-
very few science fact out
Yeah.
there.
Because it's ever evolving.
Right.
Yeah.
well, it always gets more complicated.
Right.
Right? Like the answer to your question isn't as easy as it was 20 years ago.
Hold on.
So
hold
I-
on. Stop. I think you are explaining the flat Earth theory right now. Like
Well, no, here's
it's
what I'm
way
getting-
more complicated than you can even understand.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm getting to is that when that happens, there's some people out there, obviously like the flat earthers,
Yes.
who just abandon science altogether.
Hmm.
Because what they thought was right is no longer right because XYZ happened. Now the theory is even far more complicated. So it was kind of like even in the Dark Ages,
Mhm.
people retreated to where they were comfortable.
Yeah.
So even nowadays, like these people are retreating to somewhere where that's easy to understand.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think you're right where they did retreat to a point of comfortability because comfortability is always easier than, I guess, trying to figure out something that's being explained to you that's complicated and you just
Well, I mean, dude,
you
I don't
have
know,
the
man.
resources for it.
I don't think it's that complicated. The earth is fucking round. Cool. What keeps us on here? Gravity. Okay. But you know, if you're a flat earth, you're like gravity, you stupid bitch.
yeah.
Gravity
Fucking
ain't real.
gravity,
I just watched
asshole.
a video on the 10 major things that flat earthers believe in.
Yeah.
And one of it was gravity doesn't exist. Things just fall because they're heavier than air. That was their explanation of gravity.
I don't know. That kind of makes sense a little bit to me. If I'm being honest.
Well, I mean,
But see, the problem is that if without gravity, if you put like that famous experiment with the feather and the bowling ball,
Oh, I got you.
if you remove all air friction
yeah, in a vacuum.
in a vacuum, yeah, exactly. In a vacuum with no air whatsoever, they will hit the ground at the same time. Because there's nothing stopping them.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
because
the feather is meant to was obviously evolved
To be
catch
lighter.
air. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't think they'd fall at the same time, but they actually do. And that's proof right there of gravity. Because without it,
Well, yeah, because the bowling ball in a vacuum, it weighs.
the same,
The same as the feather.
you could take, no, like you
Right?
could take them on Earth, just remove all the air, and they will hit the ground at the same time. They weigh
It's the
exact
same. It's the same idea that like if a spaceship is shot into space, like it would just keep increasing speed because there's no friction to stop
There's
it.
no nothing
Exactly.
there, yeah.
There's no resistance to it, which I guess would be gravity. Yeah.
No, because that
Oh.
space, there is nothing. It's not like
Yeah, space is a vacuum.
it's not even a vacuum. That's the thing people
Right.
even forget. It's not a vacuum. It's nothingness.
Why is
There
space
is
cold?
nothing there because
Why-
there's no atmosphere to hold.
So
What would
the-
actually happen if you went up into space, half of you would burn, the other half would freeze. Whichever side was facing the sun would burn, and the side facing away from it would freeze.
Okay.
But yeah, it's that.
I'm gonna need to see the math on that.
It's actually what would happen. Look it up.
You don't have to see the math because, just remember when Bender got shot into space,
He just kept going.
yeah,
Yeah.
he had to drop swag to slow
I
down.
mean, then he got to be a god for a little bit. It
Yeah.
doesn't sound like a bad plan.
No.
But yeah, a lot of people think it's a vacuum. It's not actually a vacuum. There's nothing there. No up, no down, like
Left, no
nothing.
right, yeah.
There is nothing there. That's the problem. People don't understand.
Yeah. In space, you're ambidextrous.
I guess.
There's no left and no right.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, there's just nothing out there.
there's
man.
no direction.
Well, see, that's part of it too, is that it's hard to imagine nothing.
It is, especially when you look up. You know what I mean? And and then if you're up there in space, I guess it really is.
Well, I mean, there's
Or-
shit like dark matter and all that.
Yeah, that we're starting.
That's
to
what space
discover.
is made out of. Essentially, is like dark matter and shit like that.
I think you've been reading too much comic books again, man. Pretty sure dark matter is theorized only.
Nah, man. No, I think they've actually made some advancements, man, where they're starting.
Just like space itself. It's a theory.
theory. Just like space and gravity. Well, moving on up to, we jump forward a little bit to Christopher Columbus, and this kind of starts to bring us back, into more of the modern and I say accurate ideas.
Well, Columbus never got nothing wrong. So
Well, no, well, yeah, I mean, he's fucking.
He was the
famous.
greatest man to ever live.
Yeah, I mean,
Just don't ask any Native Americans.
yeah, I mean,
You
I'm
don't
gonna take the
explore
word.
worth
I'm gonna take
talking
the
about.
word of a guy who thought he was in one place when was actually 7,000 miles in the opposite direction.
Yeah, he named Native Americans Indians
Yeah.
because he thought he was in India.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go ahead and take his word for it. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Like he got fucking lost. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
what kind of explorer was he, bro? He got fucking lost.
You didn't get lost. You just sailed straight and hit something.
Well, the thing is that like in my mind, he thought it was like a flat Earth, and he would just end up on the other side. I think that's what it was. You know what I mean? It's got to
I
be.
mean, you know, he was a rebel of his time. I
Yeah.
mean, he had the courage to argue the teachings of the church, man, that you know the earth was a flat disc.
Well, there goes my theory.
Which
out
that
the
is a
fucking window.
very dangerous thing,
Yeah.
especially back then.
Oh,
Yeah.
bro.
Challenge the church.
Yeah. I mean, you know, inquisitions and all that shit. They didn't play with that shit, man.
Mhm.
Especially where he was, because I believe he set sail from Spain.
Spain.
He's Spanish.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
and that's where like
the
ain't that where all the
Spanish
inquisitions
Inquisition.
went down. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like
Well, he got away with it because he looks like Antonio Banderas.
he's like real smooth and
yeah,
suave.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm about to say yeah, he's suave.
Motherfucker,
why
turn
he
your
is.
pants right off.
But see,
Man or woman.
now this part, man, this kind of like plays into today, you know, for me a little bit is that, you know, him arguing the church, you know, that it wasn't a flat disc and all this, you know,
Mhm.
it still didn't deter the church. They sponsored his journeys anyway. And the chance of falling off the edge of the earth was not a real great concern to them. It
Would
was
be for me.
whether or not the church would end up being profitable or a complete waste of time and resources.
Yeah. Okay. I
It's
mean,
all
I
about
get
the
that.
money.
Okay.
I mean,
Well,
honestly,
at the time, they were the
what-
biggest
what were the
business
ch-
around.
what
Yeah.
kind of, I mean, what kind of fucking trip like that would make it profitable for the church?
Well, all the shit they bring back, you know, the spices, the fucking
Okay, yeah.
vegetables, the humans,
Yeah,
everything.
slave trade, the fucking gold they stole from them.
Yep. A lot of people don't know that Columbus was a slave trader.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't know. Yeah, he was a scumbag through and through.
Yeah.
But
But I
he's a
also
product-
watched
he
a
was a-
video.
How dare you?
I don't know,
He's
but
the
Slander
product
my
of his
hero.
time.
I also watched a video where a guy asked the people if he could believe that the president was shooting triceratops, and they just they
Dude.
that was a travesty.
I seen that where dude's like, we have to save the
What? Hold
triceratop.
Dude, it was so fucking yeah.
Hold on. What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you heard me
I
right.
saw that video.
There was a dude out in like literally in public, like, hey, did you hear like the president is hunting triceratops to extinction? And people were like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Dude, they were
I didn't
signing,
vote for him.
bro, they were signing the petition
Yeah, to save the
to
triceratops.
save this triceratops.
So you
I
know,
would hope that at least a few people.
we're not that fucking far ahead, but
Bro,
I would hope that at least a few people did it for the laugh.
no, well,
No,
a couple
they-
of them,
they-
you know,
they-
a couple
they
of them were
weren't
like, yeah,
laughing.
right, dude. But I'm telling you, bro,
They
the
weren't
ones
laughing.
who signed that shit, they thought that shit was for real.
they went home and told their friends about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they.
Like Starbucks.
All right, after this, y'all have to. I'll have to remember to fucking watch this video.
Dude, it's
Yep.
fucking hilarious. Like he really saying that they're hunting the triceratops to extinction.
Yep.
And it was just a travesty.
Yeah, and we wonder why people believe in a flat Earth. Jesus,
I'm gonna go ahead and say it probably won't be hard to get it past those people
Jesus,
that the earth is flat.
titty fucking Christ, man!
Yeah.
Like it's like you gotta be kidding me.
Well, thanks to the age of enlightenment, you know, which is basically what 18th century, the kind of
1700s,
yeah, kind
yeah.
of industrial age.
Yep, Industrial Revolution, that kind of shit.
Yeah, people were, you know, a lot of people were starting to come around to the ideas. You know, this is where Darwin kind of got big.
Yeah,
You know, with his origin of species and the other,
Yeah.
you know, and it came around to the ideas of, you know, that the whole evolution and our place in the world, and not only our place in the world, but our place in the universe as a whole, really.
right.
You know what I mean, like this I think where we're really truly trying to figure out where we came from and why we're here.
Right.
And you know, just like, you know, dark ages, that kind of stuff, man. You know, these extraordinary theories scared a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, what did they do? They turned right back and, you know, they took, you know, they were looking for solace in the Bible, man.
Yeah. Okay.
And,
I mean, that's-
and I think that's kind of like big part is, especially the Christian society, their go-to, man, is when things go wrong or things they don't understand,
Look to the church.
go straight back to the Bible.
Yeah.
Because it explains your whole life for you. There's no thinking involved. And I think that's why, people do it.
Mm.
Because it's like, here you go. This is your purpose in life.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Maher.
Okay. Well, that's how I feel, man. But I mean, dude, it's just, it stops you from having to think. And I think that's where people look for that comfort.
Sure.
Because it's always comfort. It's been comforting to people for, a couple thousand years at this point.
Sure.
And, and one such person was a dude named Samuel Rowbotham. He was an Englishman born in 1816 who was an immense believer in the flat earth theory.
God bless him.
Now, I don't know, it seemed like his idea of flat earth was just a little bit different because it was proposed that the earth was an immovable disk whose center would be located at the North Pole.
That doesn't even make sense.
No.
Isn't
See,
the North
here's
Pole
a-
in the north?
Yes.
Here's the,
It's the
an
center
actual-
pole.
the
So,
interesting thing
it'd
about
be the
this
center pole.
was that, let's say that's true. So you got the disc, North Pole is the center.
I am gonna say it's
Well, that
true.
would be, that's the center of gravity, right?
Okay.
If
Oh,
you
you-
were,
It'd get weaker, right? The more you moved out.
what would actually happen is the closer you got to the edge, like you'd be standing up like this. And then as you got closer and closer, you'd actually start facing more
Leaning
towards the
forward.
earth. Yeah.
Mm.
So by the time you got near the edge, you'd actually be crawling on your hands and knees because it would be pulling you back.
Yeah.
Back
That's
back
yeah.
towards the center.
that must
Yeah,
have
but
been
of
where they
course that
shot
requires-
Michael. That's where they shot Michael Jackson's Annie. Are you okay?
It's like-
Just ship him out there real quick for one scene. Sit him on back.
Now,
course,
would that mean the closer you got to the center, the more Oompa Loompa like you would be?
Yeah.
You'd have to be shorter.
You know what I mean? Kind of like,
Well, see, that wouldn't be because that's gravity is a consistent pull.
Yes.
So if you were 6 foot at the end of the earth, you'd still be 6 foot,
6 foot at
in
the
the
center
middle.
of the earth.
But then
Okay.
the problem is this is all based on gravity, which would also mean that all the oceans were pulled to the center of the disk, and it would only be landmass
Around the
out-
edge,
around
on the outside edge.
Well, yeah, and that's not possible because there's an ice wall on the edge.
Yeah,
Exactly.
All right.
guarded
Glad we
by
agreed on that.
NASA agents with laser guns and whatnot.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
They got trained velociraptors up there with like lasers on their heads.
I can just imagine it's actual NASA scientists and they're just like cosplaying and shit. You know what I mean? Like, they're not in like real uniforms. They're dressed like elf thieves and shit. And
They're
what was he,
D&D
what was he from
characters.
Lord of the Rings? Yeah, he was like an
Yeah,
elf
it's like
thief, wasn't he?
it's like a magician's guild, and
Yeah, yeah. You see the boat coming, fireball,
I'm just gonna say fireball, lightning bolt.
deflect, deflect.
But dude, believe it or not, this work is still used today by modern flat earthers, man. And it's called Zenetic Astronomy. And they believe that the earth is not a globe.
There was a guy named Samuel Shenton in 1956 who brought Rowbotham's ideas back to the forefront, right, and renamed it. He actually rebranded it as that Zetetic Astrology. I
Yeah,
think I'm pronouncing that right.
yeah.
And he rebranded it as International Flat Earth Society.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. It's a lot fucking easier to say.
It is.
I've never even seen Zetetic until I started looking into this.
Yeah, that's because they changed it to the International Flat Earth Society.
Yeah, much
Well,
easier.
and it's a quick way to kind of legitimize yourself. Like right now, he's the only dude in it. But yeah, it's the International Flat Earth Society.
Yeah. Well, that's
So
because
it
he's
automatically gives
30%.
you, like,
He's
an arrow.
30% Irish, 10% Chinese.
Yeah.
He did a 22andMe thing.
So to him,
Yeah, it is international.
Well, you know, like we said earlier, still this like the Christian church supported Aristotle's idea, right?
Right.
At least for a time
right?
of the round earth.
Sure.
I think at one point they kind of rolled back to the flat earth.
Right.
But the problem
I
is
mean-
now is that even with this flat earth society, space is becoming a big part of modern culture.
Well,
Yeah.
bro. I mean,
A
you're
lot of-
talking
lot of
like
people are
late
fascinated.
50s, early 60s. That was like the whole big space race thing,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, that's when it was ramping up. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, there were.
I think
pictures
Sputnik
being-
wasn't that long after this. I think it was
No, I actually don't know
61,
when
62,
it-
something
when
like
it
that.
went out.
Sputnik went up.
But I mean, dude, during this time, around this time, there was images being captured that clearly showed the Earth was a globe. All the
Right.
planets
Yeah.
were spheres. We rotated the sun, not the other way around.
You
Right.
see, like
A
this is
lot of
one of
old,
Women knew their
Thinking.
place. It was great.
yeah, women knew that. Yeah, exactly.
men worked, women cleaned the house and raised the kids. But you like this is what kills me a lot about the flat earth thing, man, is that they completely agree to the fact that all other planets are round but Earth.
Well, it depends. If you're one of the guys that don't believe space is real,
Well, yeah, then there ain't no planets.
there is no planets.
Yeah. So
See, that's the problem too, is that the flat earthers, they argue they can't agree with it themselves.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Everybody-
they fight amongst
There's a
themselves.
shit ton of them who believe, yeah, like you said, space doesn't exist, and there's more that believe it does exist. And
Right.
And then you got the ones
constantly
that believe
argue
it's a
with each other.
dome,
The firmament.
like a planetarium.
Yeah, they're called the firmament.
Yeah.
That's from the Bible too.
Yeah,
Right.
it's just yeah. At least with like the Sasquatch guys,
Easy.
they all believe he's there. They all believe that he looks the same.
Yes.
Throughout the centuries.
Yeah,
Yes.
they all
Hangs out in
they
the
all
same
have
area.
the same idea.
Yeah.
See, like I've been watching a lot of Harry and the Hendersons,
Of course, you have.
and that is the Bigfoot I want to believe in. That's
That'd be
my
a big cool
Bigfoot.
foot. Yeah, that'd be a cool
Well,
Bigfoot
like the
too,
living Bigfoot.
Yes, it's Harry from Harry and the
Personification.
Hendersons.
Yeah, that's a great.
I mean, if he was real, I'd like to hang out with Harry. You know what I mean? He seemed like a cool dude.
It was. Well, he's like
He
a
better not kill
former.
no animals around him.
He was like a former enforcer for the Hell's Angels, and then.
He turned his life around.
Kind of like what was it, Pogo
Yeah, like Pogo.
from Umbrella Academy?
Mhm.
He was like doing tattoos.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was doing. Yeah, that's right.
He was like riding motorcycles. He was in a biker gang.
That's Bigfoot. That's my Bigfoot.
Anyways, though.
No, I think we should just change the rest of this episode into a Bigfoot episode.
Well, you know what? Fine by me. Let's go.
No, please, by all means.
Anyway, but like I was saying with the pictures in space and all that,
Right.
the flat earthers don't. They believe they were faked by the government.
Yeah, man, but dude,
I
that
mean,
would have to
and
be
you
one
should
huge
hear-
conspiracy theory, man.
You should hear the astronauts if you haven't already. When they get so exasperated so fast when they're, oh, do you think the Earth is flat? Oh my God, I was up there. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're talking to guys that been in space, bro.
Yeah.
yeah, they can't even believe that it's an
Allegedly.
They're even being
Allegedly.
asked that question. You know what I mean? They're just like, why are you asking me that?
Well, I mean, because it sounds so ridiculous, and what a lot of people don't understand is, like they're always saying that, the pictures are composites or they've been a bunch of pictures put together, but the Earth is so fucking huge.
Yeah. To a
That's not-
satellite, anyways.
Yeah, that you're
yeah.
not getting it in one picture, man.
Yeah, and it's
like,
not that far.
I mean,
It's
it
not that
makes
far
perfect
away.
sense.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From the Earth. So
Yeah, I mean, it's in low Earth atmosphere. What's it? Low Earth orbit.
yeah. See,
I
what I
mean-
think, what I think is the astronauts when they make that noise, they're just tired of telling the same lie over and over.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what I
like,
think
but I
it's
don't say it like this. The
What's the same
CIA
lie
spooks are gonna put
that
a
the
bullet
Earth
in
is
the back of my
round?
head.
Yeah,
and that we've never gone to the moon, and that there is no space station.
there is no moon.
Don't you know the moon is a hologram?
Yeah, or or it's
You-
already
you-
an alien base.
Yeah, you stupid bastard.
Fucking moon ain't real. What's wrong with you, you dumb fuck?
But when Shelton passed away in 1971, yeah, a lot of his ideas, yeah, kind of like himself, actually faded away from people's minds.
That was
Okay.
a good thing, I would think. I mean, that
Well,
ridiculous
at least for the time being, they kind of disappeared for a bit.
Right.
But the problem is, here comes the internet.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Here comes the
man's
internet.
greatest and dumbest invention at the same time.
And with the internet, there comes a revitalization of the flat earth theory.
Right.
Oh yeah, of course. It
Yeah.
does.
So many people are able to do this now.
Well,
And
I
on
mean, now you
sites-
can just literally point a camera at yourself, talk for 3 hours about some shit, and then you put it on YouTube, and then there you go.
Yeah, you
Probably
Kind of
spend-
like what we're doing now.
well, yeah.
Uh, yeah.
Kind of sort of.
Yeah.
But but they sprinkle in a little bit of, scientific jargon here and there,
Yeah.
kind of make themselves sound like almost like an authority on it.
Right.
And they come off with the air of, how can you not believe this?
Yeah.
I'm showing you this
decades
proof.
worth of scientific evidence that
Yeah,
proves otherwise.
thousands of years, and
Hmm. Bless their
NASA,
heart. Bless their heart. Jesus Christ.
But with sites like YouTube and Facebook, now these people have the ability to reach millions, potentially billions.
Yeah, potentially.
People.
would anybody believe billions?
Yes. Yes, the answer would be. And that's like the thing too, is that these people all of a sudden have an outlet
Yeah.
Well,
to
yeah,
essentially,
like
like a
also
cult.
like-minded people.
Which
it's
is,
like a
which is
cult.
why I'm okay
They're
with
able
it.
to pull in the people who would believe this stuff.
Yeah. Which is why I'm okay with it, really. You found some people that are into the same crazy shit as you are, and now you can be friends.
Yeah, you found.
I
a
mean,
whole
not real
community.
friends,
Well,
not like real
until-
life friends, but
Well,
virtual
yeah,
friends.
virtual friends.
Yeah, you'll be virtual friends until that one part of the theory you two don't agree on.
Well, man, it's funny that you mentioned the cult thing, because there was a guy, can't remember his name, man, but he went to a flat Earth con over in, I think it was the UK, and he had a bunch of the flat earthers fill out these questionnaires, and he didn't really tell them what the questionnaire was for. But really, what it was a questionnaire on whether or not to try to figure out if you were in a cult and didn't know it.
Well, the folks in the last 2 episodes going to use that.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. But it ended up being, man, like a lot of the answers, like it is almost like a cult.
I mean,
It's
any
not a cult
solid
in the
belief
sense
like
of,
that,
like kill
is-
everybody, kill yourself.
Well,
Yeah.
no, it's not crazy. Like, no, the earth
It's
is
just
flat. Let's
like,
fucking kill ourselves. But
You're right.
I mean, I think it just comes to like the same group thought. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now you've found a lot of people that think the way you do.
Yeah,
And
see,
here's
but
like
that's
a
a trap though, man. Because like you can do that with, like, if you go to a church, you can do
Sure.
that. If
Yeah.
you go to a fucking metal concert,
Yeah.
you could take a poll of all the people that like horror movies, they
Yes.
love death metal, and they love fucking
Yeah.
Natty Light. You know what I mean? Like they love it. And-
I mean, you got me out of 2 out of 3. I don't like Matt. You're right.
you know what I mean?
But
they
yeah,
love
like,
PBR. You know what I mean?
like I think you're right. Like a lot
Yeah,
of
that's a cult.
metalheads-
They all believe, and they all like the same fucking thing.
Yeah, metalheads love horror movies. They love death metal. They love the dark images. They love the black clothes or whatever.
Fucking sick licks.
I don't know about you, but
Yeah.
I'm a real big fan of puppies and
Fucking,
rainbows.
hardcore beat
Right.
down breakdowns. I mean, so I guess you're right, man. I guess no matter what it is,
Well, the problem
it
is
could be
that
considered
that
cultish.
test,
Right.
yeah, but the test he's talking about was specifically designed,
to figure out whether or not you're in a cult.
Yeah.
lets you know whether or not you are in a cult.
Right.
Yeah.
Just because you like the same things doesn't mean you're in a cult.
Exactly.
It's the answers to that questionnaire
Ah,
is the question. You know,
Okay.
is what actually determines it.
oh, okay, Mr. Devil's
yeah,
Advocate. Okay.
Well, I mean, dude, you gotta understand this too.
You're right. I mean, you're not wrong.
You know, like, you know, there was also a dude, man, he's a professor at he was a professor of psychiatry from UCLA. Like he did this thing and like they were trying to figure out why flat earthers are the way they are, you know, and why there's so many like why so many people are kind of, you know, after they give this little bit of, you know, like I said, scientific jargon, and they have this air of authority that they know what they're talking about.
Right.
And he said basically it was because of something called the Dunning-Kruger effect. And basically what this is, man, it's like people who know very little think of themselves as experts.
Right.
So, you know, like a lot of these flat earthers, man, you know, they come out with these fucking crazy theories. But because they come off with an air of authority, and, you know, then you got guys like this dude, he's like king of the flat earthers, man. Like this dude, Mark Sargent. This dude's got fucking 101,000 fucking followers, bro. And he's got like over 1,500 videos.
Man.
I mean, 101.
How
now,
do you
just
make
think
that
about
many
this,
videos off of flat Earth?
about flat Earth? I mean,
You
know,
repeat yourself a lot.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I kind of jumped on there for a quick second, man. And, you know, yeah, they're not all about flat Earth, but he's also like, he lives with his mom. The dude's like, you know,
No, his mom lives with him.
Oh, his mom.
Yeah,
lives,
it's
okay,
different.
yeah.
It's different.
Yeah.
Okay.
He lives with his mom.
Well,
His
I mean, they're
mom-
roommates, really.
Yeah.
You know, he's helping her because she's starting to get up there in age. But dude, you know, to have 100 and something thousand followers, man. Now you got to think about it like this: even if one person of each of them 100,000 convinced one person,
Yeah.
now we're out to 200,000 that believe the Earth is flat, man.
That's why sometimes I think that movie Idiocracy was more of a documentary than a movie.
Mm.
Dude, I have to say this. My wife works with a girl who's in college. She's like 20, 22, 23 years old.
Yeah.
And the flat Earth came up one day and she said, "What do you mean the Earth is flat?"
Mm.
Because that's what my father told me.
Well, she meant the father from the church.
Oh, is that what it was? I mean, dude, now this ludicrousness is fucking multi-generational.
Her real dad was trying to talk her out of it the whole time.
I mean, dude, like,
Like, no.
if anybody
No,
out
that's
there has
right.
never seen Beyond the Curve, y'all need to watch this movie. Because there is a family in there, man, that said, dude, this is crazy. We are proud third generation flat earthers.
Wow. Third generation.
Third generation flat earthers, man. This is what they're teaching their kids, bro.
Yeah.
But, you know, like everything else, man, you know, these guys believe in all kinds of fucking crazy conspiracy theories, 9/11, school shootings,
Yeah.
that, you know, all governments, science, school are
Right.
all into it together.
Right. Yeah, I mean, but you know, I'm also teaching my kid that Bigfoot's friendly, and I don't know that for a fact. You know
No,
what I
you're
mean?
right. That's one of his favorite people right now.
Yeah, he's a huge
Yeah,
Bigfoot
he
guy. I
loves
love it.
Bigfoot, man.
Yeah.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh
That
yeah.
and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, if he ever runs into Bigfoot, he's gonna go in for a hug and get absolutely
just
Yeah,
get
he's gonna
destroyed.
rip him in half.
Dad, you told me he was friendly.
like a phone book long ways.
Bigfoot! You did.
But you know, these people, like you just said, man, you know, they don't only just believe in flat Earth. You know,
Right.
like you just said with 9/11 school, they all think this stuff.
Everything is a conspiracy.
Yeah, everything's a conspiracy. Everybody is in it together to keep the truth from the general population.
Now, don't get me wrong, bro. I'm not saying there ain't some shit that, you know, the government, shadow government, whatever the fuck you want to call it, ain't keeping some shit from us.
Yes.
But this just seems like, why?
But what is it? I guess what
Like,
does it matter?
what purpose does it serve to make people think the earth is round?
I mean, but like if you're like
You wouldn't
told,
want
like,
somebody going to the edge of the planet with a grenade and draining the oceans.
I know you
Yeah,
blow a
that's
hole in the ice wall and then you're fucked, right?
Yeah. You're never gonna get a crew out there to pass the hole in time.
Yeah, he's just there with a blowtorch and a fucking ice wall 7 miles thick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's, like, it's just not gonna work. You know, but it's like, what does it matter? Like, what could you do about it? You can't do anything about it. You can't do anything.
No.
Like, what if you're like, I don't like things that are round,
Yeah.
but the earth is round. You can't do anything about it. You just
No.
fucking deal with it.
Especially on
Well,
that
it's
scale.
more like a potato, but
Like, you have a fear of
Well, yeah,
circles.
it's not a perfect circle, but I mean, what are you gonna do then? Like take all fucking baseballs and squish them till like I mean,
Mm-mm.
if you got an issue with round things, man,
Yeah.
fucking, I just don't understand why the conspiracy would be so widespread and what purpose would it really serve? Like, I don't understand. That's why, like, that's that part I can't wrap my head around
Yeah.
is what purpose would it serve to make us think the earth is round?
Well, I think it's the same thing with like, like why won't they let us know who killed Kennedy? What does it matter now, 50, 70 years later, however fucking long it's been? You know what I
Everybody
mean?
knows it was the CIA. I mean,
You know what I mean? Yeah, it was George Bush. And like aliens, like what does it matter anymore? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
at this point.
yeah.
kind of
Bigfoot.
goes back to the whole thing where the individual could understand it, but the group,
Group
Yes.
couldn't handle it.
yeah,
Hmm.
like the herd mentality would kick in.
You know, I just don't think it would anymore, man.
No, I don't believe
I
it
really
either.
don't think it would. I think it would, but it wouldn't be like apocalyptic. You know what I mean?
I mean, we just had riots not too long ago.
Yeah, over the
Throughout
Air
major
Jordans. I remember
cities.
that.
Yeah.
Well,
That doesn't prove group, the herd mentality.
I mean,
nothing does. Yeah,
To-
yeah.
One
To be-
person panics, a bunch of other people panic.
yeah.
But like I think it goes back to what you just said, man. I think, like you said, there's enough individuals that can handle the information.
Right.
We're like more open-minded people.
Well, if
like,
you sat
I
down
think,
by
like we
yourself-
are, where they'd be like, "Yo, aliens are real." Like, yeah, no shit.
Yeah, if you sat down by yourself and thought about it, you can understand it. But if fucking ET just shows up in downtown, in downtown city, that's gonna be an issue.
People are gonna lose their fucking minds, bro.
I mean,
No,
Whenever they finally
This
do
is what they're
show
gonna be.
up.
You want to know what they're gonna do? I'll show you what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
They're gonna hold their phone up and record the fucking thing and post it on goddamn TikTok.
Yep.
That's what they're gonna do because that's what I would do. 100%. That's what I would do. And I tried to get an autograph.
Yeah. I mean, I know. I run around going to people's
him's gonna
faces
end
like,
up being that
I've been
dude.
pointing at everybody's face. I fucking told you.
Yeah.
I fucking told you.
Remember that old movie with aliens and the guy he gets ready to leave, and it's How to Serve Human, How to Serve Man.
Yeah, Twilight
It
Zone.
ends up being a fucking cookbook. Oh,
It's a cookbook.
okay. Yeah, it's a cookbook.
Yeah.
It's a cookbook.
Run for your
And Tim's
lives.
gonna
Mm,
willingly get on the
Yes.
damn spaceship
mm, mm.
and get put on a spit.
Hey,
It'd almost be worth the risk, man.
yeah.
But actually,
What do I have to live for?
this belief in flat Earth. Well, don't you have to teach your kid more about all the strange cryptids
Yeah.
and how they're all friendly and cuddly?
He's only got to learn about the one that's real.
The chupacabra.
I will punch you in the fucking dick. You say
Because-
Chupacabra one more fucking time. See what happens.
Or the Loch Ness.
Chupacabra.
Mm. Mm.
We all know it's not real, man.
I hate you so much.
Only Bigfoot's real.
I don't think
The
I've
Loch
ever
Ness
hated
Monster.
anybody more than my whole life.
No, Bigfoot's not real. The Jersey Devil was real. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I would tend to believe more in Bigfoot than the Jersey Devil.
Anyways, getting off traffic here a little bit, but the actual belief in a flat Earth has actually killed somebody.
I
And
believe it.
there's a man named Mike Hughes, and he built his own rocket with he kind of, I don't know where he got his knowledge on how to build a rocket.
Hmm.
It was actually steam powered.
Mm. Oh, Jesus
You might be
Christ.
asking yourself, can you get to space with steam? And the answer is yes, you can.
If you ask any steampunk enthusiast.
No, it's actually possible to get
I think you
there,
would need a shit ton of
but
steam.
the size of his rocket wouldn't have been able to hold enough steam. You know what I mean? Like you need a rocket bigger than what we send to space now, essentially.
That's got rocket fuel.
Yeah. It's
Hmm.
not a great medium to get up there.
I just imagine it's like a pirate ship, like a steampunk like pirate ship.
It looked like a fucking Acme rocket. Yeah, is what it. Yeah.
Oh,
He had actually, or he was doing this. I think it was the Science Channel wanted to have their own like amateur rocketeer video, TV show.
Right. I think he was going to be the star of it.
I don't know if he was going to be a star of it or if he was going to be one of the people who were on. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Anyways,
man, I'm going to tell you now
His
before
first-
we go any further. There's nothing good could come out of a show called Amateur Rockets.
Rocketeers, I think.
Yeah,
that's what they
amateur
were.
Oh, no.
Rocketeer.
It was amateur astronauts or something like that.
Yeah, nothing good's coming out of
man,
it.
Yeah, it was
Amateur
something
astronauts.
it was something even way worse.
Something
Yeah.
like space travel with the word amateur.
Yeah. I'm an
I'd watch
amateur
it.
astronaut.
Yeah, I'd watch it.
The fuck?
But yeah, he actually he actually test flew the rocket once a few weeks before he died, and he was able to get up over 1,000 feet, something like 1,500, 1,600 feet in the air.
Right.
The only problem is when he started to come back down, like his parachute worked, but he hit the ground hard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He survived.
wasn't able to move. Yeah. Now imagine 5,000 feet, which is what his goal was.
Yeah.
At 5,000 feet, you're
needless
gonna,
to
you're gonna
say-
hit terminal velocity.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd hit it in that 1,000 foot too, because you got to think it's a fucking rocket. It's streamlined
Mhm.
Yeah,
straight to the
it's,
ground.
yeah, it's built for aerodynamics. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
But his
Yeah, kind of like Wesley Snipes in Terminal Velocity. Good ass movie.
but needless to say, on his second attempt, he didn't get anywhere close. He got up and everything immediately went bad. The rocket turned, crashed, killed him on impact.
Yeah.
But his thinking was that if he was able to get to 5,000 feet, he would be able to see whether or not the Earth had a curve.
Right. Yeah, I think that's at the where you start seeing the curvature. 5,000 feet. That's about a mile, right? It's a mile up.
Yeah,
think
give
so.
or take.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
5,200
mile.
feet, something like that is a
Yeah,
mile.
it's a mile. Man, I mean, dude, you got to have pretty fucking solid convictions about your flat Earth theory that if you're willing to put your life on the line,
Well, see, he was
In a
he
steam
was a
rocket.
known like
He was a stunt man.
Daredevil.
Yeah, he was a stunt man as Daredevil.
oh, okay.
Mhm.
So yeah,
But he was also well known to be a flat earther.
Yeah, he's like a dollar store Evil Knievel. You know what I mean? Like,
He even looks like a dollar store.
yeah, he kind of did.
So
But
that
there-
crazy
yeah, the-
shit was part of his DNA.
The problem is that the flat earthers have a tendency to prove themselves wrong when they try these things. Because there's a group called the Globe Busters, right? And they have a
Oh.
pretty
Love
famous
it.
experiment they did. Where they set the poles, I think it was 5 meters up on one spot. Then they go, a few miles down, or
Yeah.
they set another pole that was 5 meters in the
So you
sky.
should be able to. They should line up perfectly.
Yeah, and
essentially.
they shined the light through it, and the dude on the other end, where the light was, had to keep raising the light up until they were finally able to see the light through the hole on the second pillar.
Well,
So
okay.
they actually disproved themselves
So like
with their own experiment.
One thing I wonder is like, so okay, you believe the Earth's flat, great, but do you not believe in hills?
Yeah.
Yeah.
mountains.
And yeah, I mean, really? I mean, they're right there.
Oh, dude. I've read something about as soon as you said mountains,
Yeah.
some flat earthers are saying that That's what ships disappear behind when they're in the ocean. Water mountains.
Yep, I believe it.
What the fuck is a water mountain? I mean, that's insane, bro. Like, it's already an insane theory to begin with.
Yeah.
But
Then
now
you
you're
throw
throwing
in
in
water
water
mountains.
mountains.
Yeah. I can't
Like-
believe I can't believe a human put those two words together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I
Like,
could understand if it was like under the water.
Yeah.
Like, hey, that's there's a water mountain over there where
Yeah.
this ship sank. So if you see the mountain, you know where you're going.
Yeah. But just
But
to say that
you're talking
they
about like a
disappear-
fucking pillar of water.
Yeah, like that's why you can't see the ships no more. It's because they're behind water mountains. And the craziness about like a lot of this flat earth stuff, man, is like, they also did another experiment with what do you call it? A gyroscope.
Yep.
And they sent it up in a weather balloon. And they didn't like the data they got back. So they said, oh, it's because of the atmosphere. So they put it inside a vacuum tube, sent it up again, basically saying that if the earth was round, that there should be a 15-degree turn every hour, like a 15-degree shift.
mhm.
And guess what came back on the data?
13.7.
No,
Nah.
there was a 15-degree shift in the earth, man. Like,
mean, they
these
love-
guys have forever proven themselves wrong.
No,
Well,
no,
they-
no, no,
they
no.
love
The
the
government
whole-
was up there. They swapped it out.
With a proper one.
They fucking rigged
and
it
a false one.
in midair.
Well, one of their things too
Not buying
Is
that
water.
bullshit.
is actually water, right? Because they don't see how water would be able to hold on to a ball. Like it, which essentially is what Earth is.
Yeah.
But again, that goes back to gravity. And they keep going, well, water always finds its level. That's one of their main things they love saying.
Sure.
Well, the problem is that water doesn't.
No, water goes.
If
to
you
the
take a
lowest
drop of water and you put it on some wax paper,
point. It's going to the
it
lowest
beads
point.
up into a ball.
Well,
It
yeah.
does not flatten out completely. Well,
Well,
they're
like a
right and they're
puddle.
wrong.
I see what you're
water,
saying now.
Water
Yeah.
does find its level, but it's level with the earth.
Yeah.
With the ground underneath it. So as it curves, the water is also curving, but you'd never notice it. So yeah, a lot of their so-called sayings are just scientifically like inaccurate.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, to see that kind of curve on the earth is so big.
You'd never
Yeah,
see it with your
Yeah,
eye.
you're not going to see it with the human eye, man.
Especially because our eyes are only able to see like on a clear day, it's something like 8 to 10 miles.
Yeah, and that's probably at ocean. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, like you wouldn't be able to see far enough with your naked eye to actually see the curve.
I
Mm.
mean, unless you're up in space.
Yeah, which then again, they're saying that these guys are flat out lying.
Yeah.
And we
Well, I
all know
also
that
feel
they're
like a
up
lot
there
of these
talking to the
guys-
aliens.
I feel like a lot of these guys are glasses wearers, and the curve they are seeing is their fucking cataracts. Bullshit.
Yeah, this damn nerds with wearing glasses.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Wow,
I don't know
Four
why-
eyes.
I didn't notice how beautifully beady your eyes were until you took
Yeah.
those glasses off.
Couldn't see
All
it.
right. Is that so? That's flat Earth, everybody.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Dude, seriously, with this thing,
Believe it or
just
not.
go look. Don't take us. We obviously shredded it apart,
Yeah.
right? Go look for it for your damn self.
Definitely. Now,
You want to believe
One-
it, man? Fucking believe it.
Hey, by all means,
No.
man.
one
Believe it.
thing. This is why they're wrong.
Whatever
Right.
makes you happy.
This is why they're wrong right here. The Earth's not flat. It's hollow.
Yeah.
Okay. There's two gigantic holes on either side.
Yeah.
And
That's why it can't be flat. All right.
and in Antarctica, it's not the center. There's not a pole, a North Pole in Antarctica. Everybody knows that it's hollow, and that's where the aliens meet.
See,
Yeah.
like I thought there was like an actual pole.
Yeah, like kind of like
I think
in,
you're thinking of like the
Santa
movie
Claus is
Santa
coming to
Claus.
town.
Like a,
Yeah,
like,
like
yeah,
the
like a
red and
candy,
white.
like,
Like
a
the Tim
candy
Allen.
striped pole.
Yeah, like the Tim
Yeah.
Allen movie.
And
Yeah.
it says North Pole or South
Yeah,
Pole on it.
like North Pole.
With a
That
little
way.
number pad on it.
Like, yes. Okay,
Of
now I
course
know where
I'm
I
at the
am.
North Pole.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks for joining us. That's a little hint for next week's show. So enjoy this fucking nonsense
Oh, yeah,
because it's
man.
bad.
This was fun to look into at least.
Yeah, no, it was.
fun.
I really,
you know-
I enjoyed this one.
You know, like Tim said, though, you know, we shredded it, man, but that's just because this is what we believe.
Yeah,
You know, find out for yourself.
yeah.
take
Don't
our
take my
beliefs
don't
with a
take my
grain of
fucking word
salt.
for it. What's wrong with
We,
you?
we definitely
We're not experts by any means.
No.
Yeah,
We
don't
just
take
think
my
it's
don't do not
ridiculous.
take my word for anything.
We're-
As
we're
far
for-
as this kind of
Yeah.
shit goes.
The three of us fell for all the government and
We've
scholarly.
been indoctrinated.
Yeah,
thoroughly.
we've been thoroughly tricked.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
CIA plants.
You know, I would do it though. I would. If I could find out the truth, I would do it in a heartbeat. And I lie right to your goddamn face.
Be a plant.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one, man. If I
Yeah.
could know the 100% truth, I would do it too.
Right. And then they neuralize you. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook at Gamma Ray Podcast, follow us on YouTube at the Gamma Ray Podcast. And as always, we love you. We'll see you next week.
See y'all
Later.
later.
Have a good one.